Welcome to this week's Schreiber Council meeting. A gold mining company wants to explore near Schreiber. Council was immediately concerned because the proposal is close to Cook's Lake, the town's drinking water supply. In good news, the council agreed to changing the employee benefits plan in an effort to save money without employees losing any benefits. Finally, the council approved money for two recreation projects: a new accessible playground and a temporary wireless sound system for the arena. Here's this week's agenda.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our council meeting, council and committee of the whole meeting, October 28th, 2025. First of all, I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Robinson Superior Treaty territory and that the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and the Métis. Can I have approval of the agenda? We do have a few housekeeping. We have number one, Director of Operations report, Simcoe ammonia sensor. We'll put that under number 14, under the department reports. We have an addition, delegation, Steve Flank from Fulcrum Metals. He'll be doing a delegation here in a minute. We have a deletion of a delegation, Coral Cole. And we have a deletion of number 3 under other business. Has anybody else got anything? Hearing none, is there anybody with a disclosure of interest tonight? Hearing none, I guess Steve, you're up for a delegation.
All right, well, thanks very much for having me today. My name's Steve Flank. I am the president of Bayside Geoscience, a geological consulting firm based in Thunder Bay, Ontario. And I've been working with Fulcrum Metals on a number of projects over the past few years, including the Big Bear project, which would be the subject of today's presentation. Ryan Mead, the president of Fulcrum, he is taking a much needed vacation, and he's asked me to sort of present things for you guys here today. I do have a presentation. Would you like me to share that? That might help just to kind of go through things. Okay. So I've just got a few points to go over, just to put everything into context here. I'll give you a quick outline of the Big Bear property, just so you know where we're talking about. I'll give a quick slide on sort of the exploration history in the area, especially as it pertains to Fulcrum Metals work. And then we'll go into some of the planned exploration activities and the permitting that we're in the process of attaining, which is the subject, I guess, of this meeting. So the Big Bear property, it's comprised of staked mining claims, which basically extend from the north of the town of Schreiber, and then a little bit down to the south and east. In total, it's a pretty large land package of just under 8,000 hectares. We're, of course, 25 kilometers east of Pace Platte First Nation. We've been in touch with about this project, and then immediately north of the town of Schreiber. I'm sure some of you know there's a rich history of gold mining in the area. There's a lot of historic small-scale mining operations that have taken place, and this property position is there for that reason. Fulcrum is interested in the gold potential of this property, and we've sort of we've sort of zeroed in on a few places that seem to be the most interesting for us, and they're outlined by these these triangles here. And those are going to be the three permits that we're applying for, respectively Big Bear North, Big Bear West, and Big Bear East. So Fulcrum Metals got involved in the area by acquiring the claims that you see here today from a company called Panther Metals in 2022. Prior to that, the property was operated by a number of different companies, but the most significant work really occurred during the 1930s, where people were sinking mining shafts, undergoing small-scale mining operations for copper, gold, and we're most interested in a couple of historic mines in the area, and that being the Johnston-McKenna Schreiber Pyramid and the McKenna-McCann occurrences, as well as the Little Bear Prospect. So, back in the day, they were really following up on these high-grade veins. They were able to undergo, small-scale mining operations. Of course, the climate now requires a lot larger gold deposits before you can start operating. So Fulcrum's in the process of conducting more modern exploration to determine if there is more than what the old operations mined out. In 2025, we're looking to do some soil sampling in the area. So this is all really low impact, what we would call low impact exploration. It involves sending out a team of 2 people in the field. They use a T-auger like this, and they basically collect samples of the soil in a grid with the hopes of identifying areas that have elevated gold in the soil. These are activities that don't require an exploration plan or permit. They're viewed as being very low impact, and so they're not the subject of the notice that we sent to the town recently, but just wanted to give you an idea of sort of what work has been done out there this year, and it's involved exclusively this soil sampling program, which took place just about a week or 2 ago. What we're interested in talking about today and bringing to your attention is the exploration permits that we've submitted. So, as I mentioned earlier, we've got 3 locations on the property that we are applying for permits on: Big Bear North, which is the red triangle, Big Bear West, and Big Bear East, which are green and blue, respectively. I'll briefly talk about Big Bear North. It's not in the area, it's not on any of the private land that we're proposing to do work on, but it is close to home for you guys, so I don't mind speaking about it. We're proposing to have the ability to do what's called line cutting in the area. This is where you get workers with chainsaws to physically cut straight paths, basically like walking paths down the bush, and that enables later crews to do geophysical surveys. And in the case of this property, we're looking to do something called an induced polarization survey. And essentially what that involves is a crew of workers laying out wire lines that are attached to a generator, and then a separate crew coming in with sensors, deploying those sensors along the lines, and what they're going to do is charge those wires and then check for any type of a response in the sensors that could indicate that we have conductive metals in the bedrock. This is a really common tool used in gold exploration, in zinc, copper exploration, and it's a very effective tool in the right environment. And if we were able to develop any interesting targets from that, we would propose to do a diamond drilling program. This area of the property is pretty far from any access, so any diamond drilling would need to be done with a helicopter-supported program. So use a small drill rig that can be transported on a long line by a helicopter, and we would cut out drill pads to set up that machinery and drill within that area. And so we're proposing that we would do the IP survey and the line cutting within these claims in here, outlined with the red pink polygon. And the area that we're proposing to do drilling in is this smaller polygon here. there's an old I would say an old mine, but it wasn't very well developed. It's called the Little Bruin Project, where there's shaft sunk, I believe, and some blasting done in the past. So that's a natural place to start when you're looking to evaluate that area for additional mineralization. Big Bear East, and just to remind you, so we're kind of over here a little bit more now. What we're proposing doing there is exclusively diamond drilling. There is a historic mine shaft that was called the Schreiber Pyramid Mine down in this area here. And we've identified additional targets north of there, denoted by these polygons. And then, of course, in the area of the Schreiber Pyramid shaft. So again, with recently there was some power line upgrades that were done up in that area. They've removed a bridge that would have been able to allow us to drive to this site. So in lieu of the bridge, we're looking at doing this again, supported by a helicopter, so that we can get the equipment and crews in. Okay, now Big Bear West, this would be the permit that triggered the notification to the Township of Schreiber. I did a land title search on these parcels of land, just these ones because they were the ones that were pertinent to where we were looking at doing work. And we found that it was the Township of Schreiber that owns the surface rights to these particular properties here. Fulcrum has mining claims that cover that, so the mining rights are owned by Fulcrum at the moment while they have those claims. And the activities in this area to be taken include not only diamond drilling, but also what we call overburden stripping. So this is where you would get an excavator to pull back the dirt in areas of interest so that we can expose bedrock. And it allows us to take a look at the geology and perform additional sampling where there's not great exposures of bedrock. And yeah, basically, as per the Mining Act, we followed the Mining Act in providing the corporation of the Township of Schreiber with a notice of intent to submit an exploration plan or permit. And that was sent to you guys on September 26th. So and I'm just quoting this from the ministry itself, but the notification provides the surface rights owners an opportunity to comment on the work that's being proposed. And the surface right owner is advised to provide comments, if any, directly to the director, as well as the proponent, which would be ourselves, on any concerns or comments regarding the work that's being proposed to be undertaken. And then, of course, that information will be considered when the ministry is determining whether or not to grant the permit application. There can be conditions on those permits that can be applied depending on the feedback we get. It basically gives everybody an opportunity to consult on the work that's being done. So along with the notice of the intent to submit an exploration plan and permit, we sent copies of our work permit that we applied for with the ministry as well. So you guys should have that information in hand. And I guess just a little bit more specifically, we've got this area here on the east, which is the site of the former Johnston McKenna mine, where we're proposing to do overburden stripping. That's this pink polygon here. And then potentially 3 drill sites in that area denoted with that polygon. And then further to the west, we have an area that we would like to do some overburden stripping on only. We're not applying for drilling in that area at this time, but there are some interesting geology there that we'd like to get a better look at. And to do that, we would get an excavator to come in and excavate, up to about 2,000 meters squared, potentially. So once and then the work process goes by basically stripping the dirt back with an excavator, and then we bring in water pumps to kind of wash off the rock so we can really get a good look at it. And then after that, the geologist will mark up areas for sampling, where we'll use basically like a concrete saw to cut channel samples, as they're called, and then those get sent to the lab essentially. And the diamond drilling on this side of the property could be accessed with vehicles and heavy machinery. So for the drilling, we would likely use a skid-mounted rig that we would pull in with like a skidder, and the drill sites would be prepared using likely an excavator. So they would basically clear a small area of trees, usually about 20-meter diameter, to place the drills. The guys can work safely, and also to make any trails that need to be made. So that's essentially the plan. And I know I probably went pretty quickly there, but happy to take any questions or clarify anything on this permit at this time.
What about liability to the township, because they own the surface rights of that property you're going to be working on?
Is there any liability to the surface rights owner?
Yes.
Not that I'm aware of, but that's something I can further discuss with Fulcrum, both Fulcrum and one thing that we could look at would be like an access agreement, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I can't speak on behalf of Fulcrum, but there could be an exclusion of liability perhaps that I'm sure that we would be happy to sign.
Yeah, the one concern that I have, Steve, is that's where Schreiber's drinking water is up there in that vicinity too, of Cook's Lake.
Yeah.
I believe it's on your east drill site.
We're quite a ways away from there. Maybe I meant to measure this out, but I think for the drilling, we're almost a kilometer away from Cook Lake. And I'm just going to check that right now. But there's a couple things. One is erosion control on any work site is part of the best practices in doing work. But yeah, I appreciate you mentioning that, because I actually didn't know that before we reached out. But the idea would be to stay away from Cook Lake for sure. I think the overburden stripping, which is the furthest west work we're proposing to doing, is about 400 meters away from the lake. So the risk for runoff or contaminants heading into that lake would have to be considered in the work plan. When we're going in and doing this type of work, we've got all fuel kept in secondary containment. We've got spill kits on site, it's top of mind 100%. But we're very confident that we can work, proximal to that water body and not have any impact to it.
So when you apply for your permitting and all that, will they know that the township's water supply is there? Like, will they take that?
I don't know what the ministry would know with regards to that. I don't know how much they talk to each other, but I would certainly say that would be something that could be brought up on your behalf as a concern, and then we could collectively come up with a plan to mitigate any risks to the water for sure.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that's definitely got to be looked at. And when's all this work? When do you have it planned for? Like over the next couple of years or next year?
It's not anything that's going to happen anytime soon. We have to get the permits first, so I believe it's like a 60-day holding period for that. And I know that Fulcrum doesn't have anything planned to take place likely this year, potentially into next year. So that's sort of what we would be looking at in terms of a timeline.
Yeah, I talked to the crew there that was bagging dirt for the last 10 days.
Yeah.
That's soil sampling, yeah.
And, yeah, so, no, that's my concern is the drinking water, that's for sure.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So we'll have to talk more on that, or we're gonna have to find out what, proper procedures we gotta take to take every precaution we can too.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Just being
Yeah, I mean, oh, sorry, go ahead.
being unfamiliar with like mining claims and mining rights, just for the public too, right? Is like because it could happen to anybody's property, really. Do you have to allow this to happen? Is it a ministry decision? Is it the property owners? Is it like how does that work?
Yeah, so I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on the legislation with regards to that, but my experience is that you know, when you acquire the mineral rights to a property, you do have the right to do work on it. You do have to undergo consultation, and in some cases, you have to enter into agreements to you know, allow you to complete that work. But yeah, that is one of those things. If you don't own the mineral rights under your property and somebody else does, it's something that you could have to deal with. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Does anybody else got any questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay, well, thank you very much then, we'll, I'm sure we'll be in touch.
Yeah. No. Thanks for the opportunity to speak, and I'll bring the comments from this meeting to both Ryan and the ministry. You know, and we'll discuss further, especially the elements around you know, protecting that water source for you guys. And I would say that on your end, you'll be provided the opportunity to comment as well, and you should follow up with that on your end as well.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Question period.
No.
No question. Minutes of previous meetings, resolution 339 -25. Moved by Councilor Morrow, seconded by Councilor McGrath, that the minutes of the special council meeting held October 2nd, 2025 be accepted as circulated. All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 340 -25. Moved by Councilor McGrath, seconded by Councilor Bryson, that the minutes of the council and committee of the whole meeting held October 7th, 2025 be accepted as circulated. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 341 -25. Moved by Councilor Morrow, seconded by Councilor McGrath, that the minutes of the special council meeting held October 16th, 2025 be accepted as circulated. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 342 -25. moved by Councilor Bryson, second by Councilor Bergeau, that the minutes of special council meeting held October 21st, 2025 be accepted as circulated. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Business arising from the minutes. Resolution 343 -25. Moved by Councilor McGrath, second by Councilor Morrow, that 2026 Winter Carnival be held from February 19th, 2026 to February 22nd, 2026. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 344-25. Moved by Councilor Bryson, seconded by Councilor McGrath, that the Heritage Days Festival be held from July 16th, 2026 to July 19th, 2026. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 345-25. Moved by Councilor Bergeau, second by Councilor Morrow. The council approved the attendance of Kay Mullins and Dee McGrath at the Roma 2026 annual conference to be held January 18th, 2026 to January 20th, 2026 in Toronto, and the expenses be paid as per township policy. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Okay. Resolution 289-25, moved by Councilor Morrow, seconded by Councilor McGrath, that bylaw 37-2025 being a bylaw to provide for the regulation, management, and maintenance of the cemeteries of the Corporation of the Township of Schreiber, known as Schreiber Cemetery and Worthington Base Cemetery, be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted.
So, we did make the changes that council had requested in section 7 regarding winter burials. So 7.1, the wording was changed, that Schreiber Cemetery and Worthington Bay Cemetery will not provide for winter burials of any kind during the time period of October 31st to May 1st. Council may by consensus extend these dates. And then 7.2, remains shall not be stored in the above mentioned time period for future burial. Storage accommodations should be discussed with your funeral director.
Good.
That's it. Is this the old one? Is this it?
Pardon?
Is this the old resolution?
Yeah, that's what you use,
Okay,
because you've heard it,
okay.
but he has to call the question.
Yeah, but now they have to approve it. Council has to approve it.
Okay. So, and discussion?
Just that the caveat is that while we're saying there is no burial between these dates, that council by consensus can actually extend these dates and vary in the winter if it's possible.
Right.
Right.
All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 346 -25. Moved by Councillor McGrath, second by Councillor Bryson, that bylaw 41-2025 being a bylaw to adopt a policy with respect to cell phone usage be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion?
Just Rhonda, this your policy statement G 2025-04 will be distributed to all staff
Correct,
and signed off. Yes.
correct.
My only question.
All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 347 -25. Moved by Councillor Morrows, second by Councillor McGrath, that bylaw 42-2025 being a bylaw to amend bylaw 38-2024 being a bylaw to set rates and fees for water and sewer services be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion?
So this is an amendment to the existing water rates for this year. So this new schedule will actually determine how water accounts are classified and what the new base rate will be. Council will still have to, at a later date, make a decision on water and sewer rate increases on an annual basis next month.
So this is not to set the rates, it's to set classification.
Correct.
So do you want to speak briefly on how we reclassify different water and sewer accounts?
Yep.
Just give them a basic overall.
Okay, so there's, we had very limited classifications in previously. So we broke it down to 7 different classifications based on the type of business. This is mostly for commercial accounts. Residential and multi-residential are kind of staying the same.
Okay.
But 3C would cover commercial equivalent, small retail business, clothing, bookstore, insurance, banks, medical, pharmacy, LCBO, varieties, Legion, etc. 4A commercial would be like a barber shop, beauty salon, dog grooming, fitness center, dentist office, places that would use more water. 5B is commercial, restaurants, car washes, garages, service centers, dealerships, and banquet halls. 6C is commercial, and it's based per washroom for dormitories, crematories, motels, hotels, camps, and lodges. 6D institution, again, is per washroom, and it's for hospitals and schools. And 7I is for industrial, and that's for big organizations such as CP Rail, manufacturers, fabricators, or mills.
So we undertook changing commercial classification because the bulk of our commercial classification before were paying the same rate as residents.
Correct.
And mayor and council felt that there needed to be a change to that policy, and that's what we're instituting tonight.
Correct.
All those in favor? Carried. Okay, that does it for that portion of the meeting. We move on to the committee of the whole portion. Department reports and committee/board minutes. So first up is CAO with a report on People's Corporation Benefits Broker.
Okay, so in an effort to look for cost saving ways with our benefits packages, at one of the conferences, I did speak to a company called People Corporation. We did have a meeting set up with them. There was Cecile, Marlene, and myself in the meeting. They had given us council back a quotation. They feel that they could give us a cost savings of up to 47% in our first year. Our Sun Life insurance is renewable in November, so this is something that council would have to decide if they would like to switch to People Corporation. Sun Life per se may not change, they'll just be the broker. Also they said that they could fix our cards where right now we pay up front and submit our receipts. So with them, they would cover it. There would be no paying up front and no deductible. So everybody could just take their cards to their dentist, to the pharmacy, or wherever, and they would bill direct. They did tell us that Nipigon has switched to them. I did talk to Lars. He did give us some suggestions about how to roll it over, but so far they've seen some significant savings and they're happy. And so is their staff. Council have any questions?
So right now, we're just going out to do some research and find if they can save us some money.
No, they had provided us with the quote.
Okay, that's this little tiny thing.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, and so this is where is this? So I'm just gonna ask because this is really hard to read.
Okay.
Is this 47% savings, Rhonda?
It is. So what they're suggesting, there's different types of insurance. So right now what we're doing strictly with Sun Life is we're paying for in advance. So we just pay kind of the same rate.
Mm-hmm.
And whether we use the insurance or not, we're still paying that premium. So at the end of the year, we're not getting any of that back. Sun Life is just keeping it. So what they're suggesting we switch to kind of like a pay as you go. So because right now we're over insuring our employees.
Okay.
So
So they have given you a quote and there is savings.
correct.
So then my second question, and then I'll let somebody else speak. You've mentioned in here that we're going to allow them to go to market with the collective bargaining agreement requirements in mind.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure as long as getting this new insurance follows Article 23, the QP agreement, then I'm good. It
Yes,
saves us money, but just to make sure that it does
it does.
follow the QP agreement.
We did give them a copy of the agreement to ensure that. So for an example, right now, our annual premium with Sun Life is $119,864.
Okay.
With People Corporation, they could reduce that to $56,371. So it's a significant savings to the municipality.
And nothing changes for our
No.
employees.
No benefit change.
No.
So how will the rollover go? It was suggested to have 3 months lead time,
Yes,
so you're renewing in November with Sun Life
for brokerage.
brokerage.
Yeah, so what would happen is but Sun Life is, what did she call it? Not Kroll. Anyways, Sun Life they do their own brokering, but they don't go outside of their own company. So right now our renewal is with the Sun Life broker department. So if we don't renew it with them, but we give People Corporation the brokerage, we can still keep our Sun Life benefits, but we'll be doing it through them.
Okay.
So the transition should be easy because there isn't one. We're still with the same
Okay.
benefit company.
Well, there's that much savings and
Sure.
and no change to the employee benefits and
Yeah.
everything, and I don't see why we wouldn't.
Absolutely.
I mean, and Lars he said it was good, and I believe Terrace Bay has done it too, with the same company. Ours ain't there right now.
No, but we're looking for cost savings. We've been
Yeah,
doing it
no.
for months, so I think that's awesome.
No.
Just as long as it hits, as long as they're aware of Article 23, the QB agreement, and we're not gonna run ourselves into trouble. And as Councilor Moore has said, it makes no difference for our staff, then.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah. Pays to go to the conferences.
It does. Networking, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Okay, CAO report business licenses.
Okay, so, some time ago, we had brought the transient trader bylaw, to council, which was approved, which would cover, like mobile businesses or vendors coming in to set up shop. So, there was also the question about what to do with home-based businesses. So, it's kind of a difficult thing to govern. So right now we have bylaw 34, hang on, which one is it here? 03/2004 being a bylaw for licensing, regulating, and governing transient traders and home-based businesses. But we have since passed the transient trader bylaw, leaving the home-based businesses on their own. So just as I wanted to give council a scenario as to why this is gonna be really hard to regulate and police. So for example, if I have my example in there, so I'm gonna start selling cookies and cupcakes at my house. So first I need to have my business license and HST number through Canada Revenue, right? I need to figure out how much my home is dedicated to the business for insurance purposes now and for reporting purposes. Then I need to obtain liability insurance because it's part of my house is now a business. Then I also have to take the safe food handling course. Then I need to have the health unit inspect my house, the business area, to make sure that it meets all their requirements. So once I obtain my A rating for food service, then I need the building inspector to come to my house and to make sure that whatever access there is for a customer to come to my house is regulation to the building code, because it changes now. It's not just a residence, it's a business. A portion is a business. So it has to be AOTA friendly, and then I have to get my municipal business license. So knowing that I have to do all this, and I may have to make modifications to my home, I don't know that I would be totally honest as a home-based business and say, yeah, I'm selling cupcakes out of my house. Right now, the bylaw officer, she can ask you, but she can't go into your house and say, let me see. Facebook posts, it's kind of hard to prove, right? But again, whatever council wishes, we can move forward with.
What's the other towns around do? Have we done history on that?
Yeah,
We-
every town, almost every town does have a home-based business, but many are not regulated, like not policed, because again, it's hard to prove.
Yeah, the scenario you outlined here just makes me think, why would anybody put up their hand and say, I wanna get a license and then bring this all down on me? All these steps, all these hoops I gotta jump through just to make a few dollars.
Well, that's it, it may not be worth it, right,
Yeah.
to a home-based business.
So you're getting all the businesses being mad at other people selling out of their houses and whatnot. I mean,
Well, brick and mortar
It's good.
complain, right? Because people are doing similar style businesses out of their home for a lot less money than brick and mortar do.
that's right. That's right, so.
But should they not then complain to the health unit if they're a business like that, if they don't have a letter grade and they're selling food out of their house or something like that, or if it's a someone cutting hair, that you need that letter grade, right? But that seems like we're the last person.
Mm-hmm. I think that comes back to somebody willing to report somebody, right? And oftentimes in small towns, they're not willing. It kind of just goes by the wayside. Currently, what we have going on, and correct me if I'm wrong, our CAO, under bylaw 03-2004, some small businesses in this town actually do come in on an
Yes.
annual basis and get a license, but not all. And so their take on it, the small business owner who gets us license, their take on it is, how come I have to get it and other people don't? And then there's also these brick and mortar businesses who say, well, it costs us so much money to run a business in this town. Why am I doing that if home-based businesses are not paying some type of fee?
Yeah, I get that.
It's pretty easy to see like a brick and mortar place is a place of business, but a house is completely different.
So I think that, I mean, I wasn't here back in 2004, I was not at this table. My guess is that they came up with this bylaw to try and even things up.
Mm-hmm.
But we pulled this bylaw apart and took the transient trading piece out and made its own bylaw, and it's left us with what's currently left here. So the question then becomes, I think the question is simple. Do you want to license small home-based business or not?
Yes.
I think you gotta try.
Yeah, I think it's.
I think you gotta
and
try.
It's an education piece. You put stuff on Facebook. I don't know. You remember to get your at-home business license. Like, I don't.
So what can?
I mean, you can't knock down doors, but
Yeah, so as a municipality,
We ask, like, if
We
you're,
can't
if you're
do-
honest and you come in and you
Yeah.
want to renew your license or get a license,
yeah,
then we ask you for your proof of insurance. We ask you for your business number, your BIN.
Yep.
And then we issue the license. And if it's a food business, then we say, okay, where's your health units rating? But, yeah,
so if we know people are conducting business out of their home without a license, then really, what teeth do we have to stop it or interfere or investigate?
I think
Well, that's the CAO's point.
Well, no,
Yeah,
that we don't have any.
no,
because the answer is,
like, we
Yeah.
don't. You can't just
Exactly, so,
force yourself into somebody's house and say, hey, I saw you had an ad up for Halloween cookies on
yeah,
Facebook.
so,
How do the other towns do it? Maybe that's what we gotta look at.
By the law is the law. There's no town that's walking in anybody's house.
But there's people
How
paying
do
their
people-
business
how
licenses
are
in
other
other
towns
towns.
succeeding?
Yeah.
I guess is my question. How are they succeeding with it?
yeah, are they doing
I'm
this?
not asking
Yep.
our bylaws or the,
Okay.
We start pounding down doors, no.
no.
but you don't need an HST number unless you're earning over a certain amount of money.
But our CAO is right, you do need a BIN number. If you're operating a home-based business, you are supposed to, by law, have a business identification number. That's what a BIN number is.
Okay, a bid number, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about HST.
HST only if you're making over a certain amount,
$30,000
$30,000 a year. Then you need an HST number. But the town would just say, give me your BIN number, which every small business applies online. They pay $60 for 5 years, and they get a master business license, which is the BIN number.
Right.
So do we know if home-based businesses that do come in and get a license, do they have that?
Yeah, they have to supply it for us to
Yeah, I would
issue
say.
it.
They have to supply it, don't they?
Yeah.
I just do a little more work and then we'll see.
I think, I mean, we had a delegation our last meeting, right, asking us about this.
Mhm.
So I think it's worth looking into a little bit more.
Is he not also asking us to look into every business?
Well, and that's
Like a
yeah.
list.
well because that's the other thing. The CAO has said, like at the moment, brick and mortar businesses do not have to purchase a municipal business license. So during that delegation, it was home-based businesses and brick and mortar. So I guess then the secondary question begets to be, okay, so let's say we do want to have business licenses for our home-based business. And the second question is, do you want to have business licenses for all of our businesses?
That can be
Discussed.
discussed. There's in the survey
Sure.
the other towns.
Sure.
Like do 5 or 6 other towns that are, just get a consensus out there, and then we got a little more information, and we'll make a solid decision.
Okay.
Okay, we good with that? I like that shit.
So you're asking for more information on both
Yes.
fronts. Okay.
CAO clerk report on consolidated fees and charges bylaw.
Okay, so, I made all the corrections that, we had discussed at the last meeting when we, looked at this. For recreation, the small side of the hall in Schedule E, I removed that the kitchen and the bar was included, cause it's not with the small side. We also added that, under Schedule E, all grant and aid and free, and then in brackets I put like funeral lunches, school board events, etc. Have to, community hall rentals are subject to a $60 setup fee and a $60 tear down fee, because they're not paying a rental fee. So that was an addition. The fire chief did ask me to change, increase a couple of prices on the Schedule F. Let me just find it here. So it was for the inspections. So he wanted it increased, let me just find. Oh, the burn permit application, and where previous permit was revoked, canceled for violations, we did increase that. As per his, request. And the safety plan review was increased as per Jan's request.
But the burning permit,
Not the permit itself, but like,
Yeah.
no. And the numbers were all changed to be friendly numbers.
Okay. So this came about originally, so besides those changes, what mayor and council has decided to institute is a 4.5% annual increase every year over the next 5 years on a lot of our fees, just try and bring us back into line with what other communities are charging.
Correct.
So all of the fees in essence have changed by that 4.5%, but then you noted the additional fees that you just mentioned that were changed, which is now about $120 hall rental fees for funerals and grants and aids, and some fire fees adjusted.
Correct.
And that would update that bylaw to set fees for municipal services.
Correct, and this will be starting January 26th to December 2030. Also with the hockey, like the user groups, the minor hockey and the figure skating, of course, their rates are set for the 25-26 season, so theirs will take effect for the 26-27 hockey season.
So these would all come into effect January 1st, 2026.
Correct.
Cool.
I have a question on page 6,
Okay, let me go back there.
building fees.
The which, I'm sorry?
Building fees,
Okay.
under building permit.
Oh, yeah.
Just thought, the number 1255 per, and I'm not sure what that number is. It's 1, 00, period 00.
Oh, that should be per 1,000. Nope. Yeah, per 1,000, so that's a typo all off of this. Good catch. So it's like $12.55 per $1,000 worth of upgrades is what your fee would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And public skating,
Schedule B.
did we decide on a daily fee?
I believe that's in there. I just want to mark this, sorry. Okay, that's That's Schedule E.
Public skating on
Seven.
page 10.
Oh, that's right, you guys are looking at a downloaded document, okay.
So I don't see
No, there's no.
I don't see a daily fee or day pass or. We
Public
discussed-
skating,
We discussed that.
full season pass, half season pass, family season pass.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so like there was talk about vending machines and then it was never,
so. There's no fee or is that what?
or do we do daily skating now?
There's,
There's no.
currently, there's no fee for public skating.
Yeah, currently there is no fee, but there would be come January the 1st.
And we talked about how we're gonna monitor that.
Yeah, we did, you're
I
right.
didn't have a solution.
Well, that's why we were talking about the seasonal passes, cause it would be on the lanyard or like on your zipper on your jacket so that it was visible when, the guys went into the arena.
Mm-hmm.
Give them a day pass for shooting.
They've always paid.
How
I
do you
believe
collect
we're-
that $5.20 for shinning? Like, that municipal office is closed, but there's shinny time on the weekend, I wanna go play shinny, who do I give my $5.20? You don't give it to anybody, you go play shinny for free. Like, that's what's gonna happen, like, and the logistics doesn't make sense. In terms of the monitoring it and what, someone's gonna have their 3-year-old on the ice and they don't have a pass, you think our guys are gonna kick them off the ice? No. I wouldn't kick them off the ice.
You can remove the day pass for some if you wanted.
Just the logistics behind it is, I get it. I just want a solution that makes sense. I don't know if I have it, but besides a bouncer at the door.
So,
That's
yeah,
like,
I mean, at bare minimum, we're gonna have to go on a big advertising campaign, would you not guess? For January the 1st, saying, hey, if you wanna go public skating or playing shinny, you need to get a half-season pass. They're available at the town, and other than that, you won't be allowed on the ice. Because what we're proposing,
how will you stop them
Okay.
from going on the
So that's-
ice
yeah.
is my point.
Yeah.
I don't know the solution.
Well, we talked about hiring a student to monitor that. Stand at the door and check passes and, or the other solution was a lanyard with a, that you get out of the vending machine, so that was from our last discussion, so.
That would be the
Hire
direction.
someone, you pay them $16 an hour, and you make $12 out the door. Really, look.
well, so Councilman, you're not against the fees, you're saying, what are the logistics behind collecting this? That's a good question.
It's gonna be an honor system.
Yeah, it's gonna be, and there's gonna be people that are gonna skate for free all year. And there's gonna be the good people who pay. But, I don't know.
That would be the direction to your arena staff, that if they don't have the lanyard or the pass on, they are to make them leave.
Oh, I forgot it. Forgot it at home today. I'll bring it next time.
If you don't have it, you're not on the ice.
I know.
That's their instructions.
I know. It's easier said than done. It's my thought. But if they're willing to kick people off the ice, then I wouldn't want to put them in that situation, personally.
So do you want the day pass removed then for shinny and just,
I think it's just, that should just go away, yeah. I don't know, I think public skating is just easier just to make it free, because it's such a pain in the butt to monitor, but
Or you could leave the fees in and just come back with, don't change, just like leave this in, but come back with the logistic, this is how we're gonna handle it.
Why would anybody buy a full season pass if they can just go there and skate for free daily?
They're good questions, I'm not arguing.
Yeah, no, I
They're
know,
good
I know,
questions.
I'm
I'm just trying to figure out how we get,
I don't know what the answer is.
Well, I agree with you.
It's just what's gonna happen.
Public
There's gonna be
speaking
kids that
is
don't
not-
pay at Shinny too. It's just gonna happen, that's all. Just put the fees in, and if we sell a bunch of season passes, then we've made some money, then it is what it is.
but we can certainly ask admin to come back with some logistics, some ideas behind how they're going to police that. Once we pass this, that's it. You've got from now to January to figure out how you're gonna police it. Maybe it's several things, I don't know. They're good questions, Dave, I don't know how you would either.
Yeah, I don't. Aside from a bouncer at the door. Don't know how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And our guys are too busy to be bouncers at the door. So what if there's something going on in the gym here on the same weekend, or, you know, you can't be in two places at once.
And I see from the schedule that we've been publishing online that public skating in Shinny now has its own block. It's not a filler, it has its own block.
That's correct, it's a scheduled time, so the guys could work that into their day now to be at the arena when public skating is on, so that they can monitor, the passes. And it's also, a liability issue, I don't want public skating on the ice, pardon me, without anybody being in the building. Cause it could be just one guy on the ice, public skating, fall and hit his head, how long is he gonna lay there before somebody finds him? So we need to have our guys in the building during that time. So there's lots of cleaning that needs to be done. They walk in through the arena randomly, check the passes. I mean, if you're kicking somebody off the ice for not having a pass, it's no different than having somebody at the door bouncing. Like either way, they're not getting on the ice without the pass. You have to have your pass. That's the education piece, that people have to have their pass visible, or they're off the ice.
I mean, lots of times they'll sit around this table and boot everything all over the place for half an hour and get nowhere. Is it really worth it? Like, other than the start of the year? Like, I can walk in that arena and the lights are all on and everything, I can look at that on the wall, and it's supposed to be Shinny. Shinny not so much, but it's supposed to be public skating. Go out. Nobody's there. I've done that numerous times. Like, so we're kicking a dead horse here, like, really, like, unless it's really big at the start of the year, and we're missing out on revenue there, but it's not gonna be revenue that makes or breaks us, that's for sure.
No, but this all started because we started talking about fees for usage, right? And that we all sat at this table and said, we do a lot of stuff, we give a lot of things away for free.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
That's how this all started. I don't know.
I don't know, we've tried this in the past.
I mean, I would say come
Used to
back
be a
with
full
logistics.
season pass you have to buy.
I would say,
There's no way to monitor.
I think come back with logistics and an education program, and then see if you can roll it out. But if you, at this point, the mayor's right, and you wanna say, no, I don't wanna look at this, then we're gonna change this, then we
Well,
need to let our CAO know.
You
She's
know
gotta
what,
change
we're
this
not,
bylaw.
it's not gonna be implemented till January 26th, right?
Right.
So maybe Anne Marie's right, come back with something, see what we can do with that portion of it, the rest of it we can. And at that point in time, if whatever we come back with and it's not gonna fit the bill, then
You can always amend
we
this,
can always
right?
Cause like, I would really like to know
pass the rest.
if our employees are comfortable with that, cause I don't think anywhere in their contract it says bouncer at the arena door. You know, I would like to know, like, I'd like you to talk to them and say, are you willing to do this? I don't want them to do something they're not comfortable with. I think it's not. Cause you have to be at the door,
Right.
people just come in.
So I think, so I guess the direction would be come back with, the rest of the consolidated fees and charge, well, we pass everything
Pass it.
next meeting, and if we, at the last meeting in December, if we can't come up with, the solution, then we'll have to amend.
Just this one little portion.
Yeah.
Shinny Hockey, but pass the rest so that she can get moving forward with it.
Yeah.
But I think, give them a chance to come up with educational logistics. They might have an idea and it comes out and we're like, man, that works. That's gonna solve it. I don't know.
Okay. So everybody's comfortable,
Yeah.
I made a note.
Okay, Director of Operations, status report.
Okay, so Public Works has completed the hydrant flushing for 2025. Aqua started the valve exercising program. So we are on track to meet all of our maintenance requirements for the water regulations. Public Works has been busy last week and this week, doing a couple demolitions in town. That's going very well. The M&R, I wrote in here that I applied to the M&R for a work permit to change the culverts between Cooks Lake and North Cooks Lake. Then they recommended that I reach out to Oceans and Fisheries. So I did that, and they gave me a list of items that we would have to make sure that we follow when we do the crossing. And then the M&R came back and said, you know, it'd be so much easier if we just entered into a water crossing agreement with the township. And then that will allow the township to do maintenance activities at the culvert. But late Friday, I actually received an email from the M&R indicating that we already have a license of occupation that was issued way back in the day when the bridge was removed and the culverts were put in. So this find actually simplifies the whole enchilada. Now we're allowed to go in and do the repairs as necessary. And I still have to follow the Oceans and Fisheries directives, but easy peasy. So we can actually, following this demolition, we can actually move directly to the culvert and start those replacements. So we will put on Facebook that we'll have Cooks Road closed probably all of next week while we do the maintenance on the culverts.
So you're gonna close the whole road?
To the, yeah. Yes, because once you start on the road, there's nowhere to turn around. And once you get up to the culvert crossing, we're gonna be working there, so you got nowhere to go.
No, I realize that, but you can go left. You can stay straight. I haven't been back there maybe.
Holy Hannah.
They were gonna close the road. Because you're also going to have equipment, us running back and forth on the road. It's not wide enough to meet two vehicles.
You're
And the
all,
last thing I need is to roll that dump truck.
well, you're not gonna, yeah.
How long?
5 days at the most.
But now you can move ahead with the project because you don't need all these fancy licenses and stuff, and it's not gonna hold you up,
Correct.
and there's not gonna be an additional cost.
Correct.
God bless you trying to close the road. Well, you're gonna have your ATVs, you're gonna have your hunters, I mean,
Yeah, well, ATVs can come off the road, right? That's what they're built for.
that's what I thought, but
Mhm.
if they, I mean,
They'll put a barricade across the road indicating that it's closed. The last thing we need is a half ton up there coming nose to nose with.
yeah, well, I would,
An ATV can get off the road and,
Into the bush.
yeah, and still be safe.
no, that's, we talked earlier about it, yeah. That's good reporting.
Right. And maintenance, the rec maintenance crew worked extremely hard, putting in some extended hours, but they did a beautiful job at building the ice, so we're pretty proud of the end result on that. We have had some issues with the exchange, the air exchanger that supplies the change rooms at the fitness center.
Yeah,
So we're just waiting for Cloud Darling to, I've got the quotes now. Got them too late for this meeting, but we are ready to move forward with those repairs. I'm just waiting for them to tell me when they can come up and get it done.
so if you're getting quotes, Tam, is it within your allowance, or you're hoping to get this done through your operations budget?
They are within my allowance. And we brought in a repair person to look at the Pepsi cooler in the concession for the figure skating club, so I believe that they are ready to go.
Are they ready to go? A lot of people are asking for hot dogs the last
November.
couple hockey games I went to.
The last correspondence I had from the figure skating club indicated that they were planning to be open November 1st.
Try not make a lot of people happy up there.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Thank you, that's good.
Johnny, under
Questions?
under recreation, we've talked here about the rental contract has been updated and it's been attached. So.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
That's okay, huh? So, in the agreement that we've got here that you've sent us now, we have some additional information that on page 6, section 5, and it's to do with the presentation that was made from the fire chief our last meeting, right? So the currently that the legal occupancy capacities have been revised. So a question, has he put up new signs over at the recreation center?
The new sign has been posted for
Okay.
the entire hall. He is still working on the sign for the small side and then the large side. But the whole hall has been posted.
Okay, so the numbers have changed, right? And the occupancy numbers have changed, and you've changed the amounts in the contract so that people are aware. So then I'm good with everything. My last question is, what about contracts that are already been signed earlier this year? Is there any way that we can grandfather them in, or allow them to make changes, or are we gonna have to come up with new contracts? Because I know, I'm aware of a couple of contracts you've already got. So how are you going to handle those?
The fire chief has advised there's no grandfathering in the Ontario code, so these occupancy numbers stick. However, there is cancellation refunds. There's a clause in the terms and conditions of the contract that indicate that the township reserves the right to cancel the rental contract for any time in case at any time in case of emergencies or when unforeseen circumstances arise. So I would suggest that we reach out to the contract holders that already exist under, that have signed old contracts. We'll let them know what the new occupancy number is. They'll have a choice of either signing a new contract or we refund their deposit.
Okay. So that's the answer to that?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Jenny. And you're gonna be doing, somebody in admin's gonna be doing that sometime soon, Rhonda?
Yes.
Awesome. So we can't grandfather them in because they signed previous to these changes? Okay.
No.
Okay. Director of Operations report, Aqua expense request.
So part of the ESA upgrades at the wastewater treatment plant, gas monitors were put in at the entrances to the clarifier building. The regulation states that we have to calibrate that new gas monitoring system on a monthly basis. So the calibration kit comes with gas cylinders that you kind of plug into that gas monitoring system, and it calibrates. It tells you what it's set at. The standards will come with an expiry date, so, once we order this original shipment, going forward, I'll know what kind of expiry dates are on these standards, and I'll be able to, have it budgeted in future years, cause it will be a consumable. But I need to order the first, set in order to be educated on how many times throughout the year we'll have to buy this stuff.
So this money for 2025, Tammy, is coming out of operations, or will it be an additional capital project?
This'll be part of operations, however, it was not budgeted, but I think we still have room in, one of the lines for the plant.
Okay.
Okay, that's health and safety for sure. Okay, Director of Operations report, propane supply, a 3-year supply.
So I issued our contract with Sergeant Propane expires December 1st. So I've issued the RFP, November 1st. I've issued the RFP and sent it out to various propane companies, so it was by invitation. We received 2 proposals, one from Sergeant Propane and one from Borealis Propane. Sergeant Propane has indicated that the transition from Superior Propane is now complete. That allowed them to go through all of the accounts and streamline the pricing and eliminate a lot of Superior Propane's pricing schemes. So their proposal is actually very competitive that they've submitted to us today. So tank rentals have been eliminated, hazmat fees have been eliminated, transportation fees have been eliminated. Sergeant actually came forward with, normally I contact the company and I get a new fixed price rider annually. They're proposing that they're going to give us a locked-in price for the next 3 years, which is actually lower than Borealis's fixed price rider. So for the ease of not having to change all of your tanks, there would be a cost to changing your tanks, so I would suggest that we stick with Sergeant Propane.
100%.
Not sure the budget for the next 3 years, too.
That's right. There's no fooling around. No matter what happens, you've got that number.
Yeah.
I agree.
100%, cause I mean,
Okay,
no fooling around with them and
so we'll come forward with a bylaw then to enter into an agreement with them.
okay, number 7, Heritage Days reconciliation.
So I went through the GL to reconcile this. I did print out a new copy today actually, because there was a small error. But when you look at the actual revenue versus expenses, I reported the one that you see, we were at a loss of 3,045, when the actual number is 2,821.76 is the loss.
So,
And that's,
did we always lose money on Heritage Days, or, I mean, is it just the cost of having a town party, or did we,
No.
is there a way to make money?
well, I think we didn't make as much because we had to split some bars. Cause we didn't find people to run the
Yeah.
bars,
Mhm.
right?
But there are opportunities to actually not run at a loss. But to
Well,
make-
yeah, I mean, some years you've made money, some years you've lost money.
Yeah,
I mean, this was a massive event, right? That I heard so many people say this last Heritage Days was the best in years, and it was awesome. But there's an expense to doing it. Council Moore is not wrong. There was a cost to splitting some of the bars, but I mean, it also brought money to other groups in our community
Yeah,
that it
and
wouldn't
it's
have.
way
Getting
less of a headache
Or you
for
can.
the town.
And getting people to come to Schreiber, I mean, somebody's benefited.
Yeah, there's an
100%.
economic footprint to it.
Yeah, exactly. You can't, you don't you don't put it all on profit and loss.
Yeah,
I mean,
So-
$2,800, losing 20, in my mind anyway, losing $2,800 is not the end of the world.
No.
Again, recently, restaurants brought in money, hotels brought in money. I think it was a big event. I think the 23, 24, and 25 events, I think the 23 event was the downtown Saturday event was bigger than this year's. I think everybody in the last 3 years since COVID has done a fantastic job. All you got to do is go on the Schreiber website and look at the Heritage Days events from 23, 24, and 25. And they've all been successful. My reunion was just before COVID, and it was successful. So, I mean, I think Heritage Days in a whole has always been successful. Yeah, and you can't really. I mean, if you start losing $10,000, then you might have an issue with it.
Right.
But
No, I mean, and Dan, I think the CEO will tell you, they start the budget off looking for net zero, right? You raise so much money, you spend so much money, they're hoping for a net zero.
Yeah.
Happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. But I think it's something that can be adjusted moving forward.
For sure.
And I mean, you take a look at the amount of sponsors, a little less maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think there's always areas for improvement. But I can tell you the numbers of people attending things, holy Lord. It was, I think it was fantastic.
oh, I do too. I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm
Yeah.
saying the last
good,
3
yeah.
have been great.
Yeah, so,
so if you have a town party and it costs you a couple $1,000s, but there's economic spin-offs
Yeah.
beneficial to the community as a whole, then it's worth it.
right? And don't forget, this money at year end for both 2025 Winter Carnival and 2025 Heritage Days is an in and out entry. It's not an actual loss to taxpayers. It's recovered out of the Recreation Reserve Fund. Not reserve fund. That's where that money comes in and out, right? And we've got a little bit of a cushion built up in there, and that's the reason why.
Did we ever ask Canadian Pacific for, I don't see them here as on the list of sponsors.
They don't sponsor.
They don't, eh?
No, they refuse us every year.
Yeah, that's a shame.
But at least you asked, Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't even get swag out of them.
Yeah. Okay, keep asking.
Keep asking, yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next one, the seed program then.
So the reconciliation for the 2025 C program was compiled using the general ledger. We did receive a grant of $52,700. With the wages and expenses, we've spent $55,145. So the good news is that we don't have to give any money back to the province, so that's a good news story. And we collected just under $5,000 in registrations. So the money that we are out can be covered by that registration money. So we're not out by any means.
So do you think we can logistically run this next summer without a grant?
I don't think so.
Do our can we apply for summer students that would fall into this, that can run this program?
Yeah, for sure.
The problem is, like, this year we had to
Yeah,
really beg,
no,
borrow, and
Yeah, I know. No, I
try and
understand,
get them to approve the students. So to add 2 more to that list, it might be a tougher fight. But that would be the only way that you could run the seed program again, is if you get your student help paid for.
So I heard a lot of like positive things from parents, like how nice it was to have this service for their kids if because they work full time and stuff like that. Okay.
That's probably something we can get administration to look at.
Yeah.
Right,
Sure.
in the new year, can we do this
Jamie will look for
again?
grants.
Well, even at
and-
budget
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, move on to the M&R bear management letter.
So I was
Lots.
asked to reach out to the M&R to get a definitive definition of what a nuisance bear what constitutes a nuisance bear. Patty Westerman indicates that the fact sheet to the municipalities outlines non-urgent and urgent encounters. She points out that the non-urgent encounters are basically not a nuisance bear. So a nuisance bear is one that is causing damage to property. She also says that because of the situation that we are in this year, not able to trap bears, we could call the M&R for assistance to trap a bear, but they only react to areas where there's a cluster of calls on bear wise. So I can't stress this enough that any bear encounters that we have in Schreiber, people have got to get on the phone and call Bearwise to report them. Because there will be no support unless there's that data to justify them coming out to give us a hand. So they've also included the schematics for the bear trap. So I will have Public Works go over the bear trap to see if we are compliant, and we'll have a better idea for budget deliberations if we have to do anything to the trap to bring it up to code. The other question was about marking bears, and in her letter, she states that bears are not to be marked unless it is part of our authorization letter. But there's really no reason to mark bears, she says. It's only if we have you've seen the letter.
yeah, it's in the letter.
Yeah. Have you had many calls lately about bears? No. Right?
No, I have not had complaints lately.
There's still a few around. that's
Sure,
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. And I know that we've mentioned this before, but I have tried calling the Bearwise number just to say, hey, on camera last night, I've had a big black bear in my yard. I've actually called once. I've actually reported once. I've called 5 times. I just gave up. It's a long wait.
You won't get an argument from me. It's a very frustrating system, but it's a system that the M&R relies on
I
in
know.
order to get help for your community.
Yeah.
We got a new call.
So, you've also got a letter here for the
You just
the bear conflict management course
Yes.
in the spring.
Yes.
what a guy.
Would your plan be to run this for one people or several people? One person, sorry, not one people.
I
one
would
person.
not run the course. It is the M&R run. It's led by the M&R. So it's going to be a discussion that we have amongst management to see if it's something that we can work. You think about trapping bears and then having to haul them away. That's the majority of their day, not in town. So I'm not sure that we could afford not having our staff, because we already run with a skeleton crew. Not sure it's gonna be feasible for us to have a staff out of town for most of the day getting rid of a bear.
Okay.
So it's a conversation that we still have to have.
In saying that though, Tammy, there's a few people around Schreiber that have had their bear license that's not employed with the Township of Schreiber.
Yeah.
So,
They could put a tender in.
like, put an advertisement out, when we find out it's gonna be running. I mean, it'd be up to them at that point in time to see if they wanted to renew their license, or
Yeah.
even if they had to, maybe there's somebody there right now that, I don't know how long the licenses go for.
Yeah, I have reserved a spot for our contractor to attend the course. which is what she indicates in the letter, but, once the course date is announced, we can certainly share that with the residents and anybody that's interested in
I don't
participating.
overload it, but we could get 2 or 3.
Yeah, get additional names. Because, I mean, just to kind of give you, do you know what I mean? You've got a little bit of wiggle room. And you're right, because there is, bear management is an actual budget line.
Yeah,
So you can probably have a look at what if anything it cost us in 2025 and then progress into 2026. 2025 has been an abnormal year.
yeah.
This is not normally bear season for us, right? So, but
The-
that would be my thought, just to open it up to more than that. If you've got one space, can you maybe if you've got 2 or 3 other interested people, it might be an idea.
Yeah. The key component in all of this is we have to make sure that our trap is going to be compliant and will pass the M&R inspection. Without a trap, we can't hire a contractor.
Right. But that's something that you could do, and if you needed to upgrade them, you could. That's something you can work into a budget.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, move on to economic development officer report on the signs.
Okay.
POVs.
So Jamie couldn't be with us tonight. He's away at training for the next couple of days. So he did provide me with a copy of his report. So this is the renewal for the signs that have Ontario at the top, directional signs to specific locations in the municipality. So the total renewal cost would be $1,717.60.
Well, did we not get any of the HST back?
Yes,
So it's 1520 plus applicable HST.
correct.
Okay. And I'm gonna guess, I'm thinking I know this answer already because I think I asked it last year. This is budgeted under advertising and tourism on that line budget, right? He's got this money set
Yes.
aside.
Yes.
Okay. So this is just asking,
Do you
can we
want
renew
to?
it again another year? Okay.
That's a year.
Mm-hmm. If it's budgeted, I have no issue with it.
And they work. The
Yeah,
signs-
oh,
the
yeah.
Signs will work.
Okay, number 11, NOHFC application, economic development.
Okay, so Jamie has completed phase 1 of grant application with NOHFC regarding new equipment, playground equipment for Mallory's Blue Park. So the stage 2, we've completed stage 1. They recommended that for stage 2, we include other things because this equipment was at a specific threshold dollar-wise, but they felt that they could extend the grant. So he sent me an email to mention to council that he found a temporary sound system that could be used at the arena. He's saying here that the microphones and board are not in stock, so it would take 2 to 3 weeks to get here. I'm just gonna open up the quote. He's saying the total quote would be $6,559.50 if council wanted to do something interim while we're waiting for the NOHFC application
For that portion.
for that portion of it. So he was
Okay, so
also
now I'm confused.
okay. So Chelsea and Greg were here last week. They sat down with us.
Mm-hmm.
So they asked us what our wish list was.
Mm-hmm.
So we gave them the wish list. So what she's suggesting is instead of doing a bunch of little applications, is to divide everything into 4 applications that was on her wish list. So she's saying on top of playground equipment for Mallory's Blue Park, to add the speaker systems for the arena
On one grant.
on one grant application. So that would be phase 2 where he changes it. But he's
Okay.
This is the grant that would be the 208.
yes.
Okay.
But we've had complaints about the sound system at the arena. So while he's in Thunder Bay right now for this course. So he did go out and get a quote for a temporary sound system for $6,559. So he was asking in his email if there was recreation committee reserve money.
It's a reserve fund.
It's a reserve fund.
Sorry,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, so this is two different asks. Because here, and the reason I'm concerned is the 90-10 split is for any grant 200,000 and lower.
Right,
So that's the playground.
right,
So that's what he's asked us to move. Secondarily to that now, you wanna look at this temporary sound system for the arena. Because, I mean, you can phase two and add like these 4 different projects. I'm not saying you can't,
that's right.
but the minute you go over 200,000, then that means more money from council as compared to
That's right. It wouldn't be the 90-10, the 10-90
the
split.
90-10 split.
No,
So,
Which brings up a problem, and I know that you mentioned this before. If it's a 50-50 amount, then we'll be on the hook for a lot more money.
Yeah.
Are you talking,
but is he,
That sound system's totally separate from the grant application, though, is it?
right now,
That's
it's not in there, right now.
Right, okay.
But-
he's,
but he's asking for a temporary one that would be then replaced again
By,
by if we get a grant.
that's right.
and it, okay, you talked to Greg and
Chelsea.
Chelsea,
Another and
yeah.
NOHFC.
Yeah.
And Chelsea and Greg said with the Fednor, and there was a 90 split on the other programs too. Not on the NHOFC, was just playground, right?
Right, but it depends, right, on what the project was. So like downtown revitalization, for example. So with the things we had in our wish list for downtown, they said that Fednor could do a portion of it, and OHFC would do a portion, but it would still only cost the township 10%.
So, but that's a whole other brand new
That's right.
application.
That's something.
So is the sound system a brand new? I'm still confused about the sound system.
No, it will be in phase 2. So all he's asking, he just wants you guys to know tonight, okay, that he did get the quote for the playground. It's not gonna be the pirate ship,
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
saw the picture.
Okay, okay, it's not gonna be the pirate ship,
But it is a train.
and
I happen to like
it
that.
is
It's okay.
wheelchair accessible,
Yeah.
okay?
No, it's nice.
So,
I'm disappointed too.
And blue.
and, oh yes, and
And blue.
blue, yes.
Well,
Not blue.
that makes sense.
Yeah, so the playground itself, the cost to the township would be $20,898.
Okay.
So,
So stop there for a second.
yeah.
okay, so now about the playground.
Yep.
Is that including like the groundwork and all that?
Everything.
Everything.
That's everything.
Everything.
So it's-
Everything.
Is this what it's gonna be the turf?
Yeah.
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 It's everything.
Yeah.
It's not the sawdust, it's
No,
the
that's
pad.
turf, that's great.
That's
Yeah.
turf.
Yeah.
We went, we're looking at it, and then he looked out the door and Holy Angel School did,
We have the turf out.
so he called that company when I told him that the last quote I wasn't too fond of, because he was leaving himself open. And, he got a hold of that company and they've worked really, really well with them, and this is where they came up with, so.
This new quote, right, for this.
Yeah.
And so just to take one step back, I just want to remind that the residents of the Township of Schreiber, when we did our strategic plan, objective 2 was support community hubs that bring residents together. And that item number 2 said invest the opportunity to build an accessible playground. So that's something that's in our strategic plan. And in a 90-10 split, it's a good deal.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good deal. It's
I
nice
know it's a
playground,
good
yeah.
deal. We could have got a playground there 3 years ago to 90-10.
Mm-hmm. Could have. So, there's that. That's question number 1.
So is council good with proceeding with that?
I definitely am.
Yeah,
With the park, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, then question number 2 is do you want him to look at purchasing a temporary sound system for the arena till another grant goes in for the new sound system for the arena?
When does the new grant go in?
Yeah.
Like how temporary is this temporary sound system?
So they said if we could have the applications in by the end of December, then it would hit the next board meeting.
Which is in February.
February.
So this temp system will run
This
this
season.
arena
This
system.
This winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
And then we just
So if
sell
it's
it afterwards?
Yeah, can we do that?
Well, I was just going to suggest,
can't
like
be bought
your
in reserve.
outdoor, how temporary is it and is it portable? Cause your outdoor system that we use at the bocce ball events and stuff, it's not so great. Can this system be, is it can we transport it?
I
Is it
think,
movable?
I think it is. Because he talks about it being wireless, so I don't see why.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what you need for that outdoor.
Yeah, so I don't see why.
That's right, yeah, he was talking about something about, wireless speakers at the arena.
Cause we know that the outside system that we use is not dependable.
When we had that last event with the North Shore Family Health Team to raise those funds, that the system was very incredibly hard to use.
For the big thing.
So just a thought.
Yeah, we could reuse it and.
So then the question becomes, and I think, to get that temporary sound system, $6,559.50. You could probably, I think, what we're thinking of is don't affect taxation.
No.
Take it out of the recreation reserve fund.
Yeah.
The only other thing you need to check is the bylaw that locked that fund.
Okay.
But this is a recreation item. I don't see a problem with it, but I haven't seen the bylaw either go around it.
Okay. Just gonna make a little bit on.
Cause it's not the reserves, it's the reserve fund.
Yeah, and just ask them if it's something that we could repurpose once we're done with it at the arena.
Okay.
Or,
Yeah.
or what the plan be once it gets installed.
Okay.
Cause they do need one at the arena.
Well, it was bad.
Yeah, it is bad. And this would get us over the hump till we get another whole
Yeah,
system
the
in.
radio was playing at my kid's hockey park. I couldn't even understand what was being said on the radio, to be honest. It was rough.
Make sense?
Thanks.
Okay, Discovery Center Committee meeting minutes.
I wasn't there, so.
I wasn't there either, so.
I think they're pretty straight.
Looks like a pretty straightforward meeting.
Pretty good numbers, so.
Yeah, very good
Discovery
numbers.
Center, yeah. 4,702 visitors from 27 countries and 43 out of 50 US states. That's impressive.
Oh my goodness, that many countries, that's amazing.
Okay, Economic Development Committee meeting, or meeting minutes, sorry.
I wasn't able to make that meeting, Dan.
I was there. Yeah, I made some notes, so we'll just go through that. We talked about fiber, turnkey fiber. And Jamie was gonna get some information to bring to council. We did get an update on the cost of the pavilion. It was $860,000 is the updated project cost. We did talk about a couple of opportunities that we've been discussing for a while. We discussed Char Technology, which is putting a biomass plant in at Hercot. And we're trying to reach out to them to find out if they may be interested in our area. Yeah, we did talk about the NOHFC grants. And we did talk about promotional video strategy for Schreiber and working with Kim's group and the Discovery Center. And the HGTV, we're putting in an application for that. We discussed that in the past. One key note was any renos are the responsibility of local businesses, so. And we're still talking to Lakehead University on them coming down here, and there's one issue that came up is they cannot drive down. University won't allow them to drive down here, they won't accept that liability. So we're trying to figure that one out. And economic development officers from communities on the North Shore are working together on tour. So trying to put together some good ideas on how to improve that. We're also in discussion on Schreiber brochure redesign. Also, Chamber of Commerce, trying to come up with some ideas on how that can be improved. So, yeah, so that's about it.
Okay, the next one will be, we should have put this one ahead so you could have got going, you could have drive ahead.
It's all right.
Okay, the Simcoe ammonia sensor.
So, when the plant was started up, this fall, the new regulation requires that the ammonia level alarms be dropped to 25 parts per million. That's actually down from 100 parts per million, so it's a significant drop. In doing that, the ammonia sensor that's located in that plant room is quite old, I understand. Simcoe tells me that the older these things get, the more sensitive they become, and they can become sensitive to even room temperatures triggering. So what we're seeing is that the amber flashing light goes on when the arena is being used, and it's a false alarm, but I can't have that. If people become complacent with an alarm system, then it defeats the purpose of having an alarm system. So what we need to do is upgrade the ammonia sensor, which will be a cost of $5,437. Red Rock is actually having the same kind of issue, so Simcoe's coming down for them next week, so they can we can share the travel on that and get these ammonia sensors upgraded.
I'll tell you, I was at the hockey game on Sunday, and the game went into a shootout, and the alarm went off, and we were standing right there, and everybody was concerned.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's.
So just to be clear, at 25 parts per million, the standard says that you can be exposed to 25 parts per million for 8 hours before it's a danger. But it's still enough to trigger the alarm system because it's not reading accurately. We've had Simcoe now submit 2 written reports to us that we've requested to make sure that there's no ammonia leaks in that plant room. They assure us that the plant is tight, there's absolutely no leaks. So the sensor is just not accurate right now and being triggered by any kind of fume that's entering that room. So we just have to replace the sensors, and we should be more accurately calibrated.
Yeah, you're not gonna explain to the average Joe why that yellow light is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't worry, and like you're right, if there ever comes a day where you need to worry, you don't want people going, oh, that's always
We
happening.
can't have them complacent.
Yeah, so the last question, of course, the money is coming from operations, Tim?
Well, we are over budget in the ice plant room right now. So it would have to come. Marlene suggested we wait to the end of the year to see if we're over in that department.
Okay,
We would cover it with that money, otherwise it would come from reserve.
so wait till year end, and then you'll decide where it's gonna pull from.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jake Thorne Electrical, do you have a quote for that?
Jake Thorne Electrical for
The fan?
oh, he actually worked on it this week.
Okay.
I don't have a quote for it, but
Okay.
again,
It's
I
within
had to
your
have it fixed.
Okay.
So
No, no.
he's got the fan working so that when it triggers the alarm, turns the fan on, exhausts the room, and now he's fixed it so that it will automatically go off again once we're back down to an acceptable PPM level.
We got, so everybody's aware that we got all the street lights working.
Yep.
Jake did, of course not. Jake got all the
Not us.
street lights working for Halloween and the bears, I mean. Yesterday or today? Yesterday. I believe.
Yesterday he did that.
And I'm not sure about the splash pad, the two at the splash pad. He says that's a different
They're
issue.
all off at the moment.
They're all off
Yeah,
there
we
now?
had issues.
Okay. Okay, but all the streetlights are working now.
Yeah,
Not that there was an abundance out either, there was just three
Yeah.
full. Okay, move on to communications then.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Tammy.
good night.
Next time, throw something at me.
No worries.
Yeah. Holiday train, Tuesday, December the 2nd.
Yeah,
Yay.
We were asking where the money was. The donation would go, right? That's what this is.
yeah,
Yes.
You sent us that.
yeah, so it's still there.
Just to let people in the public know that's when it's gonna be here.
2 3 times.
And I'm gathering the food bank will be out, they'll be running that again.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Okay. Hearing anything.
Yeah, there's, number 9 might be something you'd be interested in supporting. Some blue box recycling collection, they're trying to encourage the government to take over the recycling for requires producers to provide blue box collection services to business located in mixed properties. That's something you want us
To expand it, yeah, I think it's worth supporting. If they could actually put blue boxing out to small business.
Something.
You're making me nervous when you do that.
Yeah.
So you want to support that one?
Yep. Okay, we'll move on to, there's no unfinished business. So we'll move on to other business. Roma 2026 municipal delegations.
So delegation,
It's live, it's open, baby.
yeah, so who the council would like to speak with?
Don't want to speak to Minister of Energy, but we also want to speak to Interjex. I
Yeah.
want to speak to Interjex and find out our do's and don'ts.
Solicitor? Or,
Yeah.
infrastructure.
Yeah, we're still waiting on word from infrastructure too, but yeah.
But set it up in case we don't, if we get a negative, then it's like, okay,
Yeah.
we've done what you wanted to do, now what?
Yeah.
Good idea, Dan. Or maybe you go and say, thank you very much for the money,
Yeah.
have a nice day, yeah.
Health.
What else do you have, Rhonda?
the economic development. You remember we talked to that one minister about,
Battery.
Yeah.
What, the Ministry of Economic Development
yeah,
and Trade?
yes.
Anybody you wanna talk to, Dave?
No, I was gonna suggest infrastructure too.
Yeah. It's gonna be one of two things, right?
And then the internet, that would be aligned with, like,
Yeah.
Is that something we still need to, be careful around?
Well, that's,
We have to ask them.
yeah, that's why I wanna talk, we'll talk.
Yeah,
to
talk to them
Interjects.
first before we.
Yeah.
I talked to the chief today. Actually, I talked to the chief. Talked to him this morning. We talked about that for a bit, and I talked to him about the mine. So he's up to snuff on everything, but he is back in Silica right now. He was already like Steve said, he had talked to.
Right,
Ace
that's
back.
what you did say that.
Okay.
It looks like a pretty inclusive list.
Yeah. Okay. CFNO Christmas advertising. Do you want to do a package this year? I think we should.
Do you know what I would like us to do? I would like us to do, and you, Dave, you know exactly what I'm going to say.
I don't know.
I would like us to go back and do that. That video was I thought that was so awesome and so popular. Not that but just the fact that we did that video and posted it online, I think we got so many hits.
With our Christmas sweaters on?
Yeah.
Right.
Right. I know I'm the only one that thinks that's exciting, but I love that idea.
No, I love wearing that sweater.
Gotta show a little more of the.
Well, we'll have to buy Dave one because,
Well, yeah, all he's got is.
I specifically chose that.
So, like, I know, and this ad is basically to say Merry Christmas from the Mayor and Council of the Township of Schreiber, right?
Yeah.
I just really thought that video was so much slicker. Not that I have anything against CFNO.
Well, they can still do the cheaper one at 400, and then do the video. one.
Video? I thought that was awesome.
We gotta get
Sure.
together. We waited until the last day and nobody got together about the ambulance one, so I ended up doing a speech the last day and sending it off to the ambulance guy the last day for ambulance appreciation. Last week.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get together on that. We gotta get together. If we're gonna say we're gonna do it, we gotta do it.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys want to do it?
Sure.
let's do it.
Okay.
There we go.
Buy a smaller package. I'm setting this up on my calendar as we speak. November the 1st.
That's Saturday.
I know. I'm calling you.
That's,
Yeah, that's
the luncheon or the fair,
Oh, there you go.
craft fair.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that for?
I'm on around November 1st.
She wants to do the video.
No, we're doing it November 1st.
Just, you said. We didn't do it. I'm gonna just take this under my skills. We're gonna do this.
I'm playing poker November.
Oh, you devils. Well, then I'm just trying to start calling you every day of the week.
Right. Right.
November 1st, ad. Christmas video. I thought it was awesome. Start writing the script. And if I write it, it's
Start figuring out how to edit a video.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end of the meeting.
okay. Small package meeting. I'm sorry, Mayor Mullen. Small
Yeah.
package. 25, 30-second commercials.
Yeah.
And the video.
Resolution 348-27, moved by Councilor Bryson, second by Councilor Bourgeois, that the meeting now adjourned at 9 p.m. All those in favor? Carried.